Definitely grab a journal because we're going to be working through some things as I give more attention and life to certain things, I get clarity. I think that's one thing about when I had to give my yes to the Lord, that He covered my mouth in a way that I'm able to give y'all fruit nonstop. When it comes to guarding your heart and navigating through the first impact of offense, the reasoning for the impact was the offense, not the occurrence. The occurrence was the scar. And if we want to get further into it, I'm going to say the reasoning for the impact was the intentionality, not the occurrence. The occurrence was the scar. And I think that was something that really played, and I didn't have the language for it, was the fact that intentionality, for me as a child, I just would always be like, why would they do that? Why would they do that? And not even like be able to place, wait a minute. It wasn't what you did, it was why you did it. It wasn't what you did, it was how you did it. And that's overall the root of the why. What is the intention? And so that will cause an enrage inside of me. Why? Why? Because I didn't have an understanding for it. And so when I didn't have an understanding for it, and y'all, what they say about grief is that grief is love with nowhere to go. So when I didn't have a language or an understanding for that thing, I had to say to myself, oh, well, it must be my fault at that point. And that was a tough thing to sit with as a child. So, yes, when it got into placing boundaries and when that came across, I really had to sit with something has to change. I had to be the person that stood on boundaries. And so that's why I'm so grateful that God is telling me today that you also have to be that person as well. It's not the time now to shrink. It's not. It's the time now to grow, to assess, to value yourself. So that way you can play into his divine likeness. You can play into his divine, the program. And so I'm learning that my radiance, so repeat after me, my radiance is not the danger. In this, I taught myself it was okay. And I let the world teach my heart to harden and to shrink overall. The danger was unfiltered, unguarded access. My intention was that, okay, I would guard my heart. But in guarding your heart, you have to understand, and this is where boundaries come into place. You understand that the access to you, it has to be filtered and it has to be guarded. It all looks different for everybody, but you have to understand that for yourself. Also, another thing y'all can repeat after me, we gonna affirm, affirm, affirm. My beauty, my presence, my glow are not liabilities. They're a part of my assignment. That's it. That's all. My beauty, my presence, my glow, my radiance, my abundance, the things that I bring and I carry, they are not liabilities. They are a part of my assignment. My assignment. Okay, this is what I agree to. The soul is just reflecting when you able to step out every day and, I'm glowing today. Oh my gosh, I feel good. I look good. That's the soul saying, baby, we right on assignment. Go on and go do the Lord's work. Go, girl. Go, girl. The way you make me feel. Yes, yes. But yeah, go, girl, boy, man, woman, all alike, okay? Go ahead. Beautiful. My beauty brings responsibility and not fear. Life, not death. And when we cater to the fact that your beauty is responsibility, oh yeah, we're gonna pick up some boundaries. When you are beautiful and you're mirroring all these beautiful things, understand that predatory people try to shrink you by feeding on your unhealed vulnerabilities. This could look like anywhere they get access from your lack of boundaries. Softness with low structure, spiritual sensitivity, and low covering. So that's why you cannot be everywhere all the time. Someone said to me, not every invitation is a real invite. You need to make sure that you are moving with the intention. This might not be the right thing for me. This might not be where I need to be. This might not sow into God's divine will and purpose over my life. And no, it might not seem that serious in the moment. Friend asks you out to the club. Somebody come up in the club and start spraying everywhere. So think about and consider your yeses. Will you give more into listening and leaning into what God is saying? Yes, no, go and stay. Be still, my child. You're going to hear him even more. And that's gonna look like something as simple as stay home. You can't go. Not right now. Go clean your room. Stop. Don't eat that. It's time to fast. All of those things. It's time to drink this tea. Because God made you more inclined to hear him because he understands that this girl, she's getting it now. Congratulations. I'm sowing into this season now for you to get it. But this is the will. This is my purpose. This is my will. We'll get into that another time because I feel like we also have the tendency to be extra hard on ourselves and it causes stagnation and we can't harp or dwell on the things that we did and didn't do. We just have to keep moving forward with intention. It's all within divine will and purpose, but your choices do reflect on how long it's going to take you. Have trust in the Lord that, yeah, his timing is his time, and he don't have the same concept as time as what we do here on earth. He can make a thing happen like that. When I stood on my boundaries about something, God gave me the opportunity in real time. I said, ooh, I'm not going to this place. He gave me that opportunity to say, yeah, let's see if you mean what you say. Because I was sitting there and I didn't realize that I was actually pondering over making a real decision. And God said, let's see. My phone went off. Bing. You coming? Can't wait to see you tonight. I said, oh, all right, then I guess I gotta make I gotta make my decision right now. And I did. And I'm so grateful that I did because I come to find out I did not need to be at that place. So I'm so grateful. What I've also learned leading me into this moment is discernment. You knew that was coming up next. It doesn't look like shame. It's letting your boundary be a hedge of wisdom, not a wall of trauma. Letting your discernment come into play. This is not us building walls to shut people out. This is not us saying that we too good for a certain situation. This is us simply saying that it does not serve. It's going against my boundaries. This is the way that we protect ourselves from offense overall. Because if we give too much energy into something that has been negative, and I'm not gonna say that it's a full-on perception of negativity or that it's not. This is the moment where you do look at the glass half empty and half full all at once, and you say, you know what, I got just enough with this. Just enough could look like it served the way that it was supposed to serve, and hey, I done drunk up all the water and it's gone. It's in the past now, and we good. We good. That's fine. That's fine. This glass now needs to be emptied or now needs to be fueled again or whatever. It's a vessel. Okay, it's about us just having a lightness over a thing. That's why we always want to impose on ourselves, don't take life too seriously, in a sense of holding on to things that have come to pass. Not, oh, don't feel something over a situation. It's more so, it's come to pass now. This is your present. Be present, be centered. This is the way that we are gaining more peace for ourselves. And that way we're able to cover our peace with boundaries, even within self. Like I said, we want to make sure that we are pruning things about ourselves, so that way we can get into that root system and see what is agitation for this thing, so that way we can grow. Agitation is going to look like fertilizer. When I talk about fertilizer, y'all know what that is. It's shit, okay? But it's that. And so if we're not using that, all that's going on around us, then we're not able to see that this thing is actually sold into a certain season, into a growing season. We're not giving so much lightness into the heaviness and the burden of trauma. No, of course that's not light. But we're not going to add extra weight onto carrying that thing into seasons it no longer serves. We have to get to the system of forgiving ourselves first. And that's where the impact of boundaries come, because this is us picking up weapons of warfare. It's not carnal. This is for the pressing down and shaking up. Let's read it, y'all. Because God done put that on my spirit. It's so heavy. I'm going to get deeper into this, but 2 Corinthians 10:4, it says, "For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the pulling down of strongholds." Speaking to the root systems, what is in this root? Outer things have caused the way that my roots are bound, the way that I'm growing, the way that I am, right? But what about this root could be perceived as more so as a stronghold? What needs to be chopped down on the outside so that way we can work inward, we can move inward, and we can finally define our enemies as being the eternal me? So yes, 2 Corinthians is, that living word is going to do it every single time. Letting boundaries be a hedge of wisdom, not a wall of trauma. I got my little Sharpie here because I'm working through this thing with y'all. But this season is to ignite the pain. This season is to give a certain reverence over the pain. Because now we're going into that thing, perceiving that thing head first with a new vision, with more clarity, with a new sense of purpose and maturity. And it's not going to feel good, but at least we have these new weapons. I don't know what happened to you in your childhood, just like for me. I know that I did get a lot of attack. I was a little bit more vulnerable because I was also ignorant to a thing, but it all sold into a purpose of understanding how the enemy keeps attacking me in this one area specifically. That gotta be where the purpose lies. You take a look at yourself in the mirror, you say, I know what my beauty is, how it's defined, how it's supposed to be, how it's supposed to be perceived, and I know how to work this thing now for the benefit of the Lord. When you think about it, you consider the benefit of the Lord, then yeah, you gonna get all the blessings, point blank, period. Because God will not forsake you. He won't forsake you. He won't leave you alone in that thing. So think about it in the sense that, okay, we're gaining more strength so that way we can really fight on the front line. The season is to ignite the pain. Whether it's in front of people or in private. But the pain is going to be broken down into purpose, assignment, intention, and no. The purpose, evaluation of what you've been through, and you're gonna maybe I shouldn't say that. You're gonna face that. I'll leave it at that. But give yourself some time to evaluate. Okay? I don't know who that was for, but God stopped me from saying something. So give yourself time for it. And I will say this. God, are you going to allow me to say this? There is a new weight that you have to carry. This is you carrying your cross. That was not done in private. Okay? So whatever God is revealing through you in this season, don't think that you have to hide. You don't have to hide. That was good. Oh, child, I'm telling you. First episode, man. First episode. Favor is not fair. Favor is not fair. I don't want to get on here and be up here. Tear it up. Let's pull it together, child. Pull it together. Okay, we good. Oh my. Okay, we good. We fine. And that just lead me to this because I had to fan myself with this. But it says, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. That's John 8:32. So be free. Live abundantly, live openly, You don't have to hide yourself. You don't have to shrink yourself. Okay? I believe a lot of the truth into living into the things that you've been through, into living, and I say living into because, like I said, we're not trying to cover anything that has happened to us. That's not the season that we're in right now. We're gonna use this thing. We're gonna use that fertilizer. Yeah, it might have been a lot, but guess what? What God told me to Brian Latte, what God told me that it's harvest season, I wasn't trying to make no little space. I'm a big dog. I'm not shrinking no more. Okay. Oh, yeah. God said, Brian Latte. God said, take territory. God said, do a new thing. Do a new thing. And so that's where we at. So we went through purpose, evaluation of what you've been through. And I'm gonna turn the parentheses and I'm gonna put quotations around what I was gonna say. It don't have to be done in private. God said, we ain't shrinking no more. When I said you ain't shrinking no more, I meant it. Period. That's one thing about God's word. The A for pain is going to be assignment. This is also your alignment. Who you're serving. It is time to get quiet, but it's not time to shrink. Your quietness is going to look like that you're not performing anymore. Or people please, because that is a form of performing. You're not performing, you're not people pleasing. The I in pain is going to be intention. That's acknowledgement of how you show up and where you want to be. How you show up and where you want to be. How do you affect people? How you show up? Where you want to go? Who you want to take with you? The N in pain is low. That's a good one right there. I'm really loving that one right there. And the no is for boundaries, baby. For others and for self, especially hearing God's yes as you give him your yes. So when you say, God, yeah, I want to hear your voice. I want you to guide me. God, you said stay home today. I'm going to stay home. And when you get home and God is like, enjoy. Oh, taste and see. Go make you something good to eat. And you're getting yes and you're getting clarity over a thing, but you know that you're able to go to sleep earlier that night, and that way you're able to get up in the morning and you can go out and you can do whatever you like to do. Hypothetically, you can go take your hike early in the morning. You know, you can have that nice early glass of coffee or kombucha or whatever. You give God your yes, so that way you can start living in true abundance. You can actually look around you and you can say, oh yeah, okay, this is amazing. This is wonderful. I'm actually grateful. I love this season of my life. I love what God is doing through me. Hear God's yes as you give him your yes. He's gonna give you the green light over so much. Guard your light by containing it, not suppressing it. Matthew 5:14-16. You are the light of the world. A city that is set on an hill cannot be hid. You're placed strategically, so it's influence. And that influence is controlled. It's purposeful. Your influence is not about social media. Your influence is about how you're able to show up for your loved ones, your family, how you're able to sow seeds, how you're able to do God's work here on this earth. And so whatever your beauty look like for you, that's exactly what it is. It's beautiful. I want y'all to stay hydrated and blessed beauties with boundaries and influence. My last verse is Isaiah 61:3, and that is beauty for ashes. This is your restoration season. This is your restoration period. God wouldn't have it any other way, y'all. So thank you so much for tuning in with me. I hope it wasn't too all over the place. Hopefully not, right? But I thank y'all so much for joining me in this series. I'm gonna try to lean in the best way that I can. And y'all definitely like, comment, just different things that y'all want to go through. But when I tell you that favor is not fair, but it's just. And so however you want to utilize your favor, that's the way that God is going to work it for you, for your good. And you have to trust that. And it don't always feel good. Yes, we prune, but those pruning seasons so happen to include, when we think about in the sense of being the fig tree and being the leaves and having leaves and branches, of course, that might have little parasites or little insects on them that are so happen to be there. But they're placed in incorrect spaces because these things, these branches, these leaves no longer serve if they're not bearing fruit. So that's the way that you have to consider people that no longer serve in your life. They might be dirty, they might be grimy, they might have shown up as POSs, but are we giving energy into offense that can constantly keep recycling into our lives and into our subconscious, feeding and fueling more unconscious agreements? No. We're changing our roots. The beauty with boundaries and influence. I love y'all. Y'all stay hydrated and blessed. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye. Thank you for being a friend.